What's up, everybody? It's Chris from Slappers Only. I'm back with another episode of Proximity Chat Solo, and this week the title of the episode is Letting Off Some Steam. It was originally going to be Blowing Off Some Steam, but I changed the title because I thought people might get the wrong impression. I really don't want that. So anyway, let's get on with the show. First thing I want to talk about this week, Valve has made 2 out of 3 announcements. Tomorrow they have another big announcement coming up. Who really knows what it is? But anyway, the first announcement of the week was their SteamOS. The second announcement of the week was the Steam Machines that are, pretty much going to run the SteamOS and everything in your living room. And what the SteamOS is, it's a Linux distribution. It's tailor-made by Valve to get closer to the hardware, be able to run your games a little bit better and that kind of stuff. But really, I don't really see the point of it. I don't know. To me, I already have a monster of a computer. It plays games, and with one of the last big features that Steam came out with, or Valve came out with for Steam, was the big picture mode, which it's a very elegant way of using your normal everyday computer that you play games on and hooking up to a TV, playing games on your TV set with a controller. It really works incredibly well. I'm a big fan of the big picture mode in Steam, and like all the other big features in the SteamOS that they're coming out with, family sharing, the multimedia, TV, music, whatever, who really cares about that kind of stuff in Steam? Anyway, they've said that all the features are going to be coming over to their Windows Steam client anyway. So again, I just can't help but think, what is the point of this really? Because I'm not seeing it. SteamOS, it's a Linux distribution, which means that you're limited to the games that can play natively on Linux, and it's just they're not there yet. The support for it isn't there, and I understand that maybe they're hoping that it gets there. Maybe they're hoping it gets to that point where not everything is so dependent on Windows. But what I really think is happening is that Gabe is so afraid of Windows 8 and the App Store and that kind of stuff kind of shutting Steam out, that he wants to get away from it, and I don't see the need for that. It could just be me. I'm not really certain, but I mean, gaming has always been a part of PCs and the computer culture and everything like that. Microsoft really doesn't want to get rid of Steam. It would not be in Microsoft's best interest to get rid of Steam. I think, Gabe is just a little bit paranoid, and we're seeing that. And like I said, between the Steam Machines, the Steam OS, I don't know. Like I said, I'm a huge PC gaming computer fan. I don't see the point. If any of you can help me see that point, I would really appreciate it. But right now, I'm not seeing it as big of a fan of Steam as I am. So anyway, moving on to our next Steam and Valve related topic are the Steam cards, the trading cards that you can get through Steam. And again, like the OS and like the Steam machines themselves, I'm just trying to figure out really what is the point of the trading cards on Steam. Number one, I don't really see a point to it, and number two, I have issues with it because they've retroactively come out and released a bunch of games or a bunch of cards, for older games, and some games that even came out after the trading cards hit Steam that didn't come out with cards, but then now we're getting them, and it's just kind of strange. Like Bastion's a good example. I loved Bastion. I got Ryan hooked on the game. He loved it as well. And way after the fact, they get some cards for the game, and I don't know. I don't really want to play through the entire game again just to get some meaningless cards. And there's also, another example is Gunpoint, another new awesome release that came out that, again, that came out after the trading cards came out on Steam. Didn't come out with the trading cards at, when the game actually came out, and then after the fact got the cards. And I don't know, to me, the trading cards, besides the fact that you can sell them for real money, you're talking like 40 cents or whatever, it does add up. Again, I don't really see the point. It kind of seems like Valve, Steam, really wanting to push this, social gaming, social aspect of stuff down our throats, in which case, the original Blowing Off Some Steam might have been an appropriate title. I don't know. Okay, lost track. Yeah. So anyway, I don't know. One, I don't really see the point of Steam trading cards, and two, if you are going to have Steam trading cards, make them retroactive. You know, you already know how long I've played every single game that I've played, so just give whatever cards you deem appropriate. So there's that one. And this one's not so much Steam related, but I did kind of hit on it in the last topic, you know, when I'm talking about Bastion. And Bastion was an incredible game. But I don't want to play through it again, number one, just to get some cards. And as much as I would love to just play through it again, my backlog is so, you know, gigantic that I just, you know, it doesn't feel right to be playing that again when there are so many other games that I can be playing. And my whole point is, why is it that older games seem to stand up the test of time, whereas modern games, they're, you know, they can be awesome on their own, but you just don't really want to go back and play through them again. You know, I don't know, it's really weird. It's something that I've been puzzling with, you know, it's been bouncing around in my head and I can't quite figure it out, so maybe you guys can help me out with that too. For example, for me personally, Super Mario Bros. 3 is one of the best games of all time. I mean, it is a game that I can still go back and play, and it's not about the story because it doesn't have an epic story. You want to, you know, the gameplay is fun, but it's really not about the deep gameplay because the gameplay isn't all that deep. You run from one side of the screen to the other, you jump, and you do all that kind of stuff. But you know, it's not this huge multi-layered game, but it's just incredibly fun, and you can go back and play that to this day. You know, I know those levels like the back of my hand. How weird of a saying is that? I don't really know the back of my hand, but I still have so much fun playing that game. Whereas, you know, Bastion is one example of a modern game. Another one is the recent Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider 2012 is an incredible game, or it's an incredible experience, maybe you want to put it that way. It took maybe, you know, between 12-15 hours to beat. It's not that long, but it's a great game. The story is, you know, decent if not good. The levels and the gameplay themselves are very polished. They keep adding on new elements of gameplay that build onto stuff, and it doesn't really seem, you know, extraneous. It actually seems worthwhile to have some of the stuff that they keep adding on into the game. And yet, for as great of a game as it is, I don't feel like going back and replaying it. You know, it's certainly not like Super Mario Bros. 3. It's not like another one of my all-time favorite games, Final Fantasy Tactics. I just started another playthrough of that right now. I don't know why, you know, I can play that game over and over again. I've spent hundreds and hundreds of hours playing that game, and I can keep going back to it. Same thing with Super Mario Bros. 3. I can keep going back to it. Even with a backlog, I just have fun with it, you know. Maybe that's the reason why I enjoy going back to those kind of games. But I also had fun with Bastion. I also had fun with Tomb Raider 2012. I don't know. It's just like I said. It's a question that I put out there to you. Why is it that older games are so easy to go back and play, whereas modern games, it almost feels like a chore going back to play through them? Anyway, that's just my thoughts. Some stuff that I've been thinking about this week. Like I said, we have Valve's third announcement tomorrow. Half-Life 3 confirmed. Who knows? Because I certainly don't. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the show this week. I'll try and think of some more interesting stuff to talk about for next week. And that's it. Signing off for now. How cheesy was that? Bye.